Hello and welcome to my channel. Please settle in, get comfortable, maybe grab a weighted blanket, because let's be honest, you're going to need it. Yes, that's right. We're talking about the current state of global politics and, spoiler alert, it's messy. Let's start with the main event, the one making headlines around the globe and capturing the world's attention. And sadly, history, the war in Ukraine. This conflict has not only reshaped the region, but has also left an indelible mark on the global stage. Since early 2022, it's been the geopolitical equivalent of a dumpster fire in a fireworks factory. The devastation is unimaginable, with cities reduced to rubble and countless lives disrupted. We're talking a full-blown invasion by Russia, a country that seems to have mistaken the 21st century for a particularly aggressive episode of Risk. The scale and audacity of this invasion have shocked the international community. The fallout? Global energy crises, economic shockwaves, and enough finger-pointing between world leaders to make a compass spin faster than a Beyblade on a sugar rush. The repercussions are felt far and wide, affecting everything from gas prices to international relations. Now, if you thought things were complicated in Ukraine, let's take a hard left turn and talk about the Middle East, a region that's been synonymous with conflict for, well, a really, really long time. From ancient empires clashing to modern-day geopolitical struggles, the Middle East has seen it all. We've got Syria, a country that's been ravaged by civil war for over a decade with no end in sight. The conflict has displaced millions and created a humanitarian disaster of unimaginable proportions, leaving it looking like the set of a post-apocalyptic film that no one wants to watch. The once vibrant cities are now ghost towns, echoing with the memories of a life that used to be. Then there's Yemen, where a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions is unfolding, with famine and disease taking a heavy toll on the population. The conflict has turned daily life into a struggle for survival. And Libya, which is still trying to figure out what kind of government it wants to be when it grows up. The power vacuum left by the fall of Gaddafi has led to ongoing chaos and instability. It's a tangled web of alliances, rivalries, and historical baggage that would take a team of therapists decades to unpack. The region's complexity is a testament to its rich history and the myriad of forces at play. Chapter 3, USA versus China, the sequel no one asked for. This is not just another chapter in a history book, it's a living, breathing saga unfolding before our eyes. Okay, let's shift gears from actual wars to a war of words, albeit very tense words with potentially catastrophic consequences. The stakes are incredibly high and the rhetoric is heating up. We're talking about the ever-escalating tensions between the United States and China, a geopolitical rivalry that's about as subtle as a mariachi band at a library. This isn't just about politics, it's about global dominance. It's a clash of titans, the world's two biggest economies going head-to-head on everything from trade and technology to human rights and military might. The outcome of this rivalry could shape the future of international relations for decades to come. Chapter 4, International Relations. It's like high school, but with more nukes. Now, you'd think that with all this going on, countries would be banding together like a flock of penguins in a blizzard, right? Well, you'd be wrong, because in the midst of all this chaos, international relations are becoming more complicated than a Christopher Nolan film explained by someone who fell asleep halfway through. Chapter 5, The Human Cost, where statistics become faces and stories. Look, it's easy to get caught up in the geopolitical chess game, to talk about wars and conflicts in terms of strategy, economics, and power plays. But let's not forget, for even a single second, the human cost of these conflicts. We're talking about millions of people displaced from their homes, forced to flee for their lives, becoming refugees in a world that's often indifferent to their plight. Outro, a glimmer of hope in a world on fire, so there you have it. The world today is messy, complicated, and often downright terrifying. The problems we've discussed are complex, deeply rooted, and require more than just simplistic solutions or hashtag activism. But that doesn't mean we give up hope. It means we stay informed, engage in meaningful dialogue, and demand better from our leaders.